Right, I went for a run in the sun. It wasn't very fun, especially when you're young. Not well, sorry, not with my lungs because I'm not that young. And woo, that was a headache. And I have been off for a bit of time, and just been having these. You know, when cats are in heat, my gosh, that's a stress. The meowing and the meow, whatever like that, right? And when you see a female cat, right, being stressed by male cats, and you're trying to stop it, maybe this is nature, whatever like that, right? Well, guess what? I mean, I'm part of nature too, and it's in my way, I don't know. And obviously, she's too young for all that business, so I was trying to stop that, but that didn't work successfully. I wanted to talk about something. It was called a nature of violence and Final Destination Bloodlines, horror movies that have the most stupidest things that they always do. And one of them is why do they always have headphones? If you're in the cabin in the woods, right? I wouldn't walk out of the cabin with my homies and have a joint away, who knows how far away from the cabin. Because in the end of the day, right, if I have a joint, right, I'd be paranoid. I'd be like, "What's that noise? What's that noise?" Could be a leaf, could be a bug, could be I don't know, I don't. But when you got headphones on and you're having a joint, right, that's the most silliest thing to do in a horror movie, right? So obviously, the guy's gonna be gone because he ain't gonna hear what's coming behind him. And Final Destination, the same thing happened. It happened in Terrifier. Why do these keep happening in these movies? It just makes no sense. I know you want to create a death scene, so you think, oh, we need to find out a way to have this death scene without the driver knowing or without this person knowing. Let's just put headphones on, like any human being will go away from his boys in the dark in the middle of the night, right? And have a joint. Why don't you just sit in the cabin and just smoke a joint there? I'm sure no one's gonna, that there's a fire alarm or anybody's gonna call the feds on you for smoking a joint. And that's all your boys ain't gonna mind or step outside. So obviously, what is it? A nature of violence. You'll see what happens to that guy, the city dude, right? And it's like, what are you listening to? That's so, Sabrina Carpenter or whoever the hell you just. Katy Perry or whatever you're listening to, right? That's so important that you got to decide that I don't care what's coming behind me or the chip, 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 right? Basically, because the kid is like he's standing over on a tree having a joint in a cabin in the woods. Sorry, not in the cabin. The cabin's in the woods. It's nighttime. You got earphones on. My God, I would be afraid of my own shoes. Right, if I had a joint in the middle of the night, right, in the cabin in the woods, right, why you got headphones on when you can't hear a damn thing, right? This guy is like, he's even taking his time walking, 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 walking. That movie. Sorry, if I keep saying walking, walking, because there's a lot of walking, walking going on in that movie, basically, right? Hola, fan de prota family, and hello goat. Basically, and even bloodlines. You're driving a car, and you got headphones on. Terrifier, they did that. The guy was a cleaner, and they had this the clown, Art the clown, come and yeah, the guys get headphones, so obviously it's gonna be done. You know what I mean? Fan de prota family, hello, and basically, and you're having a smoky in the woods, you know. Why, chill with your homies, pass on, go tools, If I'm gonna have a joint, right, I'm not gonna run off and smoke by myself and away with my homies. I'm gonna say, boys, pass it on to you. You know what I mean? We can all have a laugh together, right? But no, what does this idiot do? He walks outside, right? And he goes far away from the cabin where nobody knows that he's been murdered or decapitated in half, right? And because he's had a joint. Sorry, spoiler alert. I think I was supposed to say spoiler alert, but anyway, doesn't matter. And basically, so that's what happens to him. And in Final Destination, the woman falls in the garbage truck. Spoiler alert. They're saying, "Oh, my sister is in the garbage truck. Stop the car," and he's there driving. If you're driving a big, large lorry and you got headphones on, right? Don't you need to hear what's going on in your surroundings? You could run somebody over, something like that, and they're like saying, "Please stop hurting me," but you don't know because you listen to Sabrina Carpenter or whoever the hell people listen to nowadays. It's so important that you have to go la 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 la. It's just crazy. So obviously, I was just yapping today about all that stuff because I couldn't believe they're still doing that in 2025. Like, oh, we have to find a way to have the ultimate kill without the person knowing, and and so let's just have headphones, Bluetooth. Whatever happened to the radio? You're still in the car, you're still in the truck. I'm sure you have radios and stuff. So why do you need your headphones on? Okay, maybe fine if you're like in Terrifier, the guy is a janitor, so he had headphones on. That's fine. It's nighttime. Maybe I kind of understand that kill. But these two movies are a bit daft. In the cabin in the woods, man. In the woods, I don't trust anything. I don't trust a spider. I don't trust an ant. I don't trust a wasp. I don't trust a leaf. I don't trust anything. So why? And especially if you're gonna have a joint, right? Don't you think you'd be like, uh, uh, looking around, 360 all over the place trying to find out what's that noise and everything like that. But he doesn't know because obviously he's got all that's gone off his head. And yes, the music is still playing. I'm sure the music's still playing. I don't know how the headphones ever fallen off. I don't know how it works. I don't know if he had Bluetooth, but if he's like, 'cause the guy's carrying his head and his body, I don't know if he had Bluetooth ears. I can't really remember. I was just shaking my head, thinking, "Oh, you're crazy! You're crazy! Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Sorry, that's not being racist. That's just the accent that just comes out. If it was Indian. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you wearing bloody headphones with the bloody Bluetooth? Why you listen to the Bhangra? It's the night time. Where is your friends? Where is the alcohol? Why you not, partying, drinking, whatever you're doing? Evil Dead, fine. That's a reason why you don't go out in the woods on your own. People should realize that kind of stuff. Unless obviously they're just trying to say like, "Oh, we're taking fun at these old slasher movies with these horror vibes and all this kind of stuff." So yeah, fine. I understand what you're doing. But you know, daft. So that's those horror films. Yeah, that was the other one. Final Destination. I don't know if it's a spoiler, but it happens in the first 5 minutes. Oh my god, the most stupidest thing, right? A building design where the elevator, the floor is glass. I don't know if it's tempered glass, whatever kind of glass to call it, right? Where the kids jumping, jumping. You're looking down. Man, I am afraid of heights. I don't like it when I'm playing a PlayStation game and my character falls off a cliff and I'm like, I can't see him die. And they're going in a lift that goes 400, I don't know how 400 feet, whatever, in the air, right? And they're dancing. How can a piece of glass, like of a chandelier, fall on a glass? This is Final Destination Bloodlines. This is the beginning, right? And make a crack. And everybody is dancing. Not one person in that room looks down. And you know what they do in this movie at the beginning? They're dancing. They're actually ducking down like this. Like part of the dance movie is like slowly, slowly, slowly. If you're trying to tell me your head level's getting down and you still can't hear, okay, fine, you can't hear the glass cracking, but you can't see the glass cracking beneath you. And obviously, you need to show the kills and everything like that, but I'm not going nowhere over 10 foot without looking down if I'm standing on glass. My eyes would be like this, since, I'm in the air and the glass just gives away. Then everybody's like flying away like Superman or whatever like that, and obviously they ain't got no cape, so that doesn't help, and they all like, bugs on the windshield and all that kind of stuff. So that's a it's yeah, fine, kills, but all right, so it is set in the past, but human, nature, if you're dancing on glass, look down. That's all I gotta say. Because I'll be looking down every 5 seconds, right? And they even slowly like lower their voice because it's a song. I can't remember the song. It's like lowly, lowly, lowly. So you can't hear, you know. It just before you know it just gives away, and because and I'm gonna ask you a question. If anybody knows, how strong is a penny? Or a cent or whatever you call it, that when it gets trapped between a railway line, that it doesn't crush, it actually derails a train, right? Spoiler alert. I don't know why I keep doing the bloody spoiler and then doing spoiler alert after. Whoops, my bad. Right, basically, right. So why does he derail a whole train when a cent gets caught between that? Oh my gosh, I could go on about that movie and just rip it to shreds. I'll do that one day. I'll do a thumbnail or something like that. But this is my little 10-minute rant. Hola, everybody. Hi to the goat. How you doing? And see you all soon. I'm gonna do my last run of Resident Evil 4 remake. Right. I want to get 2 achievements. I can't be asked. I've been trying the Krauser ones, whatever like that. I'm just gonna speed run the crap out of it with my I'm going to do no herbs, and I'm not going to chat to the merchant because I got my rocket launcher and I got everything I need. So basically, I'm just gonna rocket launch my crap out of that, and I'm just gonna get rid of that game. Because I've been like the amount of times I've been playing that game. Oh my lord. And I still like I don't know how I can get that Krauser achievement or what I'm supposed to be. I've tried so hard. Stab, 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 deflect, deflect, deflect. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. I don't know. I've looked online. I've seen what they do. I'll give it a shot. If I can get three lucky, if I can get four sound, otherwise I'm getting rid of that bloody game. And I've had it for too long. I thought I could get as many achievements as I can. I can always get it again in the future. Just fine. Simple as that. But this is Baly just yapping. And peace out, everybody. See you all soon. And I'll do a RE run. I might do that live because it'll probably be my last RE run. I might do that tonight, basically, just to see how it goes. Like I said, I had the run in the sun. It wasn't fun because I'm that young, and I can feel it in my lung. So peace out, everybody. See you all soon.